Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Season 1 finale of Monorail Monday. This is the last episode of 6 episodes that fill out the first season of Monorail Monday. After this, we're going to take a little bit of a break. Actually, there may be one next week, maybe one more. But we're going to take a little break for a little while, and then we'll come back and bring on Season 2 of Monorail Monday with even more exciting stories of my time working at Disney and Universal. Most of the Monorail Mondays were shot well ahead of time. I shot those a long time ago and just sort of been editing them as I get to them. This last one I did not have a chance to shoot in advance, and I was going to shoot it at some point in the last month or so. But unfortunately, I did have a family injury, family health issue come up when I was on my last vacation at the beach. And to be honest, I've been spending a lot of time dealing with that. I haven't had as much time to focus on shooting things, so I'm sort of throwing this last second. Because this is a last second thing, I'm not going to do the planned season finale of Monorail Training. That needs a little more time and a little more, I don't know, special visuals and show and tell and things like that. So I'm going to put that one off to Season 2. And instead tonight, I'm going to talk about the logbooks at the monorail stations. So this is an exciting logbook, Monorail Monday. Let's go to the voice overlord for today's episode.
Episode 6, Monorail Log Books.
Ah yes, the Monorail Log Books. So basically, at every station in the monorail system, we had a logbook. It's like a captain's log or something. It's just a notebook, a diary almost. And basically the idea was, if you were a lead or a substitute lead, then you would fill this out occasionally. You would write today's date, might be September 4, and you'd say 5 o'clock. Orange evacuated, or monorail shut down due to issue, guests were compensated, or something like that. Or you might say visible odor found on monorail red when it came into the station, maintenance notified. So something like that would happen. And you might write something up in the logbook. So it'd just be sporadic. There might be no logs for a couple of days. That way the next lead who comes in, whether an intermediate or a closer, can come in and they can look and say, oh, there was a big problem with red earlier, or oh, okay, there was an evacuation of monorails, they were shut down. And at a glance, the lead or one of the others working the station can see what happened earlier in the day. Now, as you might have gathered from the previous Monorail Mondays, I always liked having a little fun on the monorail system. And just writing up the standard log books for the monorails for the stations, yeah, that was boring. Monorail Yellow had a door problem and was fixed later. Yeah, that bored me. I wanted to get really nitty-gritty details with what was going on during the day. So one of the things you want to do, you're playing with the logbooks here. This is Disney, it's Disney property, and it's official stuff that's being, every night those logbooks were taken back to the monorail office, locked away. Every day they were taken out, monorail leads would take them back to the station. So you can't just go writing Britney rules or Justin Timberlake forever in those logbooks. It's just not a good idea. Even if you're a goof off, you didn't want to be writing that stuff in logbooks. So everything I did was very official. But I would note, maybe some supervisors might say, an excessive amount of details about what was going on. So for instance, I might write 6:20. Driver smelled something funny on Monorail Yellow. 6:22. After further examination, we determined the funny smell was disinfectant. 6:24. Driver feels bad about reporting bad odor and has opted not to drive this hour. So this kind of stuff would just like, I would note everything. I mean, I had 5, 6, 7 pages of things. Joe decided to go to lunch early. Thus his drive time ended 10 minutes early, and so started driving 10 minutes early, noting in case fatigue sets in. Now, if you've been paying attention, you remember that basically most drive times, you are only in there for an hour. Most drivers are only in the train. This is when I was there. You know, for now, they could be stuck for days waiting for a monorail to be evacuated. So it doesn't all apply. But at the time, you might only be driving an hour. So nobody's becoming fatigued in the monorail. So they would start looking for some of my logs, because I didn't do it every time. Every time is overkill, and then people get bored by it. You got to do it just once in a while to spark things. And every once in a while, the supervisor comes by, and you see them as they walk up to you, they just start laughing, and you're like, he's read the logbook from yesterday. He read it. And he says, oh my gosh, Bill, you have the most detailed logs in the entire system. We maybe could do with a little less detail. Doesn't need as much detail as you're throwing in there. Of course, I would protest a little. What? Too much information? You want me to stop? No, Bill. We want you to keep going. We want you to have all the detail, and we want you to impart the information. Everything you write is very professional. So those professionally written log entries in the logbook. But maybe we don't need like every 2 or 3 minutes noted. You know, of course, I go a week or two. You know, keep the logs minimal or non-existent. You know, just the standard thing. And then another day goes by, start writing all that extra detail in there. I'm sure that they've got logbooks, and after 5 or 6 years, they go, yeah, just chuck it. Oh boy, I really wish I had some of those old logbooks, because there was some great stuff in there. There'd be a little bit of history from things that happened, and then there'll also be a lot of hilarity from the zaniness that was going on, as written by me and perhaps a few others. So that was kind of funny. The logbooks were an interesting thing. I will share another little anecdote with you as part of this final episode for season 1. You may be familiar with the Simpsons episode where they did the monorail episode. I think it's Marge versus the monorail. And in that episode, a shyster presents Springfield with the chance to have a monorail.
I've sold monorails to Brockway, Ogdenville, and North Haverbrook.
Everybody's got one. Why don't you have one? There's even a monorail song.
But Main Street's still all cracked and broken. Sorry, Mom. The mob has spoken.
Anybody who was working at monorails at the time, anybody can watch that episode and recognize that there's some nods to Disney in there. But if you were working in monorails, or you worked in monorails before, you knew there were a lot of cool references, or just somebody on that writing staff either worked in monorails or knew somebody who worked in monorails. There were a couple of like things that are probably inside gags or just little details that were just too spot on for somebody who didn't know anything about the monorails today. Somebody recorded it, and 2 or 3 days later, at the monorail lead meeting, they held those each week, and the leads all get together, discuss issues, things that are going on, things with staffing and trains. In that lead meeting, they watched the monorail episode before they did anything else. That was such a hilarious episode, very, very funny, and it was just really hilarious that a couple days after that episode aired, they were showing it during the lead meeting, and this was like something everybody who was in monorails needed to see. If you have not seen Marge versus the Monorail on The Simpsons, you should check it out. It's funny. Has a surprise cameo in there. Has a great monorail song. And it's just a lot of fun. So that's it for season 1 of Monorail Monday. We may have a little bonus episode next week. I'm still deciding on that. You'll find out when it posts or doesn't post next Monday. And because with Christmas coming up, I'm not sure if I'll start season 2 in December or if I'll wait till January. So now with Monorail Monday ending, we are going to be taking a very temporarily, maybe for a few weeks, maybe a month, I'm going to drop back to 1 episode a week. I've been doing 2 videos a week since probably around March, February or March or so. 2 videos. We're going to take a dial it back and take a little break down to 1 temporarily, just because I'm dealing with a lot of family issues. I'm going out of town almost every weekend and driving, and I haven't had time to shoot much video or edit much video, so I need to dial that back so I can take care of some family stuff, and then hopefully we'll dial it back up to 2 episodes a week very shortly. So Thursday, we've got the last of the beach trip episodes. That's Fort Apache, North Carolina. It's sort of a quirky junkyard / movie props. It's a crazy place. Lots of weird, wild things going on there. It's just bizarro land, and that's coming Thursday. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. That should be pretty entertaining. So I appreciate everybody tuning in for Monorail Monday for season 1. It's been a lot of fun the last 6 weeks. It's been great expanding on the stories. Remember to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, and we'll get some more of this pretty soon. There's also a trip coming up pretty soon. There might be an announcement about that in the very near future. So once again, thanks everybody. Hope you're enjoying it. And remember, most importantly, have a good time all the time.